time, boy, it's time to break it down. Grab a mic, kill the stage, yeah, second nature now. Mama said I'd make a prayer, I told her I made a vow. Just to wait around, in the year I'll put her in a house.
Hey, what's up everybody, this is Nightwing2303 from KicksOnCourt.com. Today we have another performance review, and it's on the Jordan Super.Fly. This is a moderately priced model at $140, which is available now at most retailers. So without wasting any more of your time, let's go ahead and get right into it. The traction on the Super.Fly is actually very good. It's very similar to what you would find in the Air Jordan 2012. So if you want to see a more detailed explanation on their comparisons, you can go to, I think it's my website's Performance Teaser Part 2 on the Super.Fly. But basically they're very similar. One thing is that the 2012 is a better option as far as traction is concerned. I would say for indoor use and also straight out the box. This guy right here would be good for both indoor and outdoor. It would last a lot longer outdoor than the 2012. However, when you're playing with these indoor, you just have to make sure that you give them ample break-in time. So it took me probably about three or so hours before the traction became what I would call doable. Every play or game afterwards would just be even better than the last one. So traction for the most part, from front to back standpoints, was great. Medial lateral movements were perfect. You have plenty of coverage in the heel, and then you also have plenty of coverage up in the forefoot as well, and then you have additional herringbone sections, which are these black pods. So those give you a little bit extra traction where you would need it. So if you're doing a toe off, whether it's a jab step or you're pushing off, or you're curling around screens, just a real quick stop, whatever it might be, these areas will definitely keep you covered. So traction in the Super.Fly, very good. Again, straight out the box, the 2012 is a little bit better, but you just want to give these a little bit of time to break in, and they're just as good as the other ones. Plus, this will last you outdoors, where the 2012, the rubber is really soft and pliable, so that stuff grinds down pretty quickly. So the cushion on the Super.Fly, I think, is very nice. The forefoot needs a little bit of break-in time. The forefoot is where you would have the lunar foam, or I would say lunar lawn. It's basically in this section here. It's going to be shaped very similar to where a forefoot zoom bag would be shaped. Basically, it's covering this entire section. And I know that it says lunar lawn back here, but it's not in the back. In the back of the heel, it actually is Zoom Air. When you first put these on and everything, the midsole very thick, not very flexible, and it even feels a little bit too squishy in the back compared to the front, because the lunar foam is a little bit firm when you first put these on. However, again, just like the traction, break-in period, once that's completed, you're going to have a really awesome time with these, especially once the lunar foam starts to kind of move down a little bit, because like I said, it's a little bit squishy here at first, so you feel like you're sinking into the heel of the shoe. But once the lunar foam breaks in, these become an absolute great performance option. As far as the material and fit, this is basically a Jordan brand specific type of fuse material. This is a little bit different than anything that we've seen previously on any of the other hyperfuse type models. It starts off real stiff, especially up front here. The sides right here don't want to give, and the entire shoe doesn't really fit with your foot for the first few hours of play. Again, just like the previous categories, give them time to break in and everything will be just fine. After about 4 or 5 hours, the shoe really takes to your foot. The way that it moves with everything, it's pretty thin, but it's fairly structured. It's really kind of a weird, it's a real weird setup. It's hard to explain, but basically with the fuse that you see from Nike, like you have a layer on top of a layer on top of a layer, which is something that you can visually see. These layers seem to be like embedded into the mesh, which is the second or middle layer. So I think that it's kind of strange, but it still retains its shape very well and does offers its structure. So the materials itself, again, just need some break-in time. Other than that, that's all that there's here. It's just fuse. It's one piece, and again, after it's broken in, it does okay. And as far as the fit is concerned, these do fit true to size. They are a little bit snug when you first put them on, because of this sleeve inside here is a little bit thick. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but There it is. So the sleeve in here is a little bit thick. It goes all the way down to the forefoot. Once you add some sweat and moisture in there, it'll start to, you know, kind of move and mold around your foot shape, which is nice. So again, that's something that I think that is better with this fuse here, is that once your heat and moisture is applied to the shoe, again after about 4 or 5 hours of break-in time, it actually wraps around your foot a lot better than something that you would see from Nike, like the original Hyperfuse or the Hyperfuse 2011. So I do like this setup a little bit better, and it's kind of strange since Jordan Brand definitely did not create the material or the technology, but it does work. So one thing to add to that is that the material itself is durable, just like any other fuse. So if you're going to be playing with these indoor or outdoor, don't worry. You're going to have this shoe available and ready for you for a pretty good amount of time. As far as ventilation is concerned, basically you have these black lines here, and the larger shaped ones, these guys right here, those are all slightly ventilated. There's nothing blocking them as far as what's in the actual material, which is nice. So there is airflow in there. If you put your mouth up to it or blow air through there, like, you can actually feel it come through. So that's always a good thing, that it's actually functioning, instead of what they did on, say, like the CP 3.5, where they had the cutouts, but they weren't offering any sort of airflow whatsoever. So the function of these slits is good. However, the sleeve inside, even though it is mesh, it just did not offer enough airflow because everything in there is super thick. For one, this liner right here is very thick, and then inside there's another kind of liner. I don't know how to explain what type of material it is, but it more so like soaked material, or soaked your moisture up, instead of kind of like let everything air out and all that stuff. So moisture control and management in this shoe is not too great. However, I will give it this, is that, like I was saying with the material and fit section, is that heat and moisture actually works in your favor with this particular shoe because of the material. So the more heat and moisture that you have in this shoe, the better the fit is going to be, because it's going to wrap right around your foot and kind of contour to your foot shape, which is kind of cool. So in that sense, you know, ventilation's not great, but it also is actually a benefit or a performance plus for this particular model. As far as support is concerned, once everything is broken in and wraps around your foot, the fit itself is very, very nice and gives you kind of that one-to-one fit. You have plenty of support in the back with an external heel clip, which you can see right here. It's this black section, and that goes all the way to this side. And then underneath that, there's also a internal heel cup. So that is nice. One thing I did notice is that I tried to play with these for the first time with my laces all the way to this one right here, and there was absolutely zero heel lockdown, so I did actually have to lace them up to the top. So once that's done though, everything is drawn back into the heel, which is great. I really like the platform, or the base, the midsole and the outsole. It's fairly widened out right here, so it's very stable, and I like it. It's a smooth, flat surface, which is great. So when you are on the floor, you're perfectly leveled. You don't feel any instability whatsoever, so the support factor in that is very, very nice. And then lastly, they also have a carbon fiber shank. This everybody knows what it is already. You know, it's for rigidness and torsional support, so it allows some flexibility here, and it does not allow any here, so you do not overextend or overstretch your arch. This is actually the same carbon fiber plate that they used in the Air Jordan 2012 as well, so I think that's also a very nice touch. Alright guys, so that takes care of the performance review on the Jordan Super.Fly. These are $140 and available now. These are perfect for point guards, shooting guards, small forwards, and power forwards. You can use these both indoors and outdoors without any issues, and it will last you quite a while, both on the surface of the traction as well as the fuse upper. So, in my opinion, this is probably one of the better buys from Jordan Brand this year, especially seeing that it's not a signature model, so it's a little bit cheaper than, say, the Air Jordan 2012. So, with that being said, thank you guys for all your support. Thanks for watching. Make sure to stay tuned to my website, kicksoncourt.com, for all of your performance needs. And until next time, guys, have a good one.
And so far, I think I'm doing it. Anything is possible, and boy, I think I'm proving it. People looking up to me, I'm really kind of new.